I'm Sean Yao, and this is One News Now. A number of passengers are still camping out over at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Let's check on the situation over there with Gerard de la Peña, who joins us live. Gerard, why are passengers still stranded up to now, knowing that local airlines already have the go signal to continue operations? What happened?
Well, Sean, about 200 or so passengers are still stranded here at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport due to absence or cancellation of their respective flights to their destinations. Some of them are headed to General Santos City through Cebu Pacific. But the airlines canceled all flights to and from Gensan due to local government regulations. Same goes for passengers who were expecting to fly to Davao City on Saturday. The Davao City LGU says their airport was not yet ready to take in passengers that time. They were taken to a public school in Villamor Air Base to protect them from the rains. This because airport authorities cannot take in the passengers inside the NAIA. They say this is to prevent contamination and spread of COVID-19. Transportation authorities, meanwhile, have made an appeal to local airlines. According to officials, airlines should check first if the local government units are ready to accept passengers before selling tickets. Well, Sean, the Transportation Department is trying to make arrangements now to see if these passengers can be flown out of Metro Manila today. They are also trying to see if they can arrange for sweeper flights, which will be paid for by the local government units of their destinations, and in which case, the airlines should be able to refund these passengers for their canceled flights. Sean.
All right, but what if they do not want to, or the said passenger does not want to avail of the sweeper flights? Will or can they still rebook these tickets and without penalty? What has the airline said? I think it's only just one airline for now that is concerned with all these stranded passengers, yeah?
Well, as we have seen in the past, a lot of passengers are having a hard time making some refunds for their canceled flights. But the airport authorities are saying that these passengers should be able to refund their money from the airlines if ever they are able to avail of sweeper flights, because these sweeper flights are already paid for by the government, and passengers don't have to pay anything for this. Sean.
Yeah. This brings me to my next question, Gerard. How come the airlines were able to sell tickets to those destinations without prior coordination? Was that the case, or was it because the regulations and the rules keep changing from week to week? Would that be the case? Also, how can passengers find out whether or not their booked flights are going to push through or not, like even as early as the night before?
Well, Sean, regarding your first question, I think that's right, because the situation is fluid right now and the policies are changing from time to time. And that makes it hard for both the airlines, the airport authorities, and the passengers, of course. With regards to your second question, how can passengers find out? Well, they have to always be in touch with their airlines. They should always check their emails and check their cell phones if airlines are texting them on the status of their flights. But I think it's really impossible right now for everyone to be able to see that, because even if airlines have this effort to reach out to the passengers, I think there are still some who are not able to get the directive. So I think passengers should be proactive enough to reach out to their airlines and confirm and see if their flights are pushing through for the day. Sean.
All right, last two questions, Gerard. The first one of which, who you mentioned that these people that are stranded there right now will be taken to Villamor. Who is paying for their meals and whatever money they might need for the transfers or for the delay and for waiting? Should they choose not to go to Villamor, what happens to them then?
Well, the transfer to Villamor was made by the Department of Transportation, because it's kind of dangerous here. It's really not comfortable here at the terminal if they're going to spend the night here. So the transportation decided to just ferry them to Villamor Air Base so that they can spend the night there, and then they just come back here for their flights. Now, with regards to the meals, I was able to talk to a number of passengers a while ago, and they said that it's only now that the airline is trying to give them some food, also with the DOTR, and in the past couple of days, they are the ones who are spending for their food. Sean.
All right, thank you very much for those updates. Gerard de la Peña reporting to us live from the NAIA. Here are other stories we're keeping our eyes on. The Immigration Bureau has closed its main office in Intramuros for disinfection after one of its employees tested positive for COVID-19. Bureau of Immigration Acting Spokesperson Melvin Mamulak says the patient is among the hundreds who underwent rapid testing at the office last week. Education Secretary Leonor Briones extends the status quo on work arrangements for all teaching and non-teaching personnel. In an advisory, Briones says that they shall continue working from home until the issuance of new guidelines, except for those specifically authorized to be part of the skeleton workforce. And St. Luke's Medical Center in Global City, Taguig, has launched its drive-through laboratory testing. The hospital management says that patients will no longer have to go to the lab for different types of blood tests. However, the lab tests offered are limited and do not include COVID-19 swab or rapid tests and drug testing, among others. For more updates, follow News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. I'm Sean Yao, and we are One News.